This is the Eye for an Eye channel. Welcome to today's show. This is too funny and horrifying at the same time. We all know Oprah Winfrey and her involvement in the Maui fires, but more so than that, we know that Oprah's been in the occult for a long time, hence she's Oprah, or he's Oprah, right? We know that the OWN network really is NWO backwards. We've seen the hand signs. We've seen and heard the new ageism that Oprah has pushed on her mindless zombies that listen to her, convincing Christians that spiritualism is really Christianity and accepting all this new age stuff as these celebrities continue to muddy the waters and lukewarm Christianity, which is exactly what they're doing by design. But Oprah has come forward and, of course, is talking about Oprah's new book, which is all about happiness and love, right? Who's been talking about happiness and love for a long time? Oh yeah, me, this guy, right? What have I been telling you guys about happiness and love and the deception of happiness and love and the Antichrist? That tolerance is going to be the new norm in the name of love. They're going to push away anybody that argues or disagrees. They're going to push away anybody that has a difference of opinion. They're going to push away Christians and eventually suppress all of us who disagree with this New World Order, fake utopian society that they're creating. So Oprah's come forward. I'm going to play you segments from this clip and not only addressed all of these things about the misery that is our society now, of course, why nobody's happy anymore. They need Oprah to tell them why they should be happy, right? Because they have to convince people to be happy. It's almost living in Stepford Wives. It's a fake utopia. It's a modern delusion. It reminds me of the scene in The Truman Show where Truman actually asks a serious question. It's confrontation. Of course, can't deal with confrontation in The Truman Show because they're all actors, just like Oprah. And of course, the bizarre response that came from it, right?
Let me get you some help, Truman.
Why do you want to have a baby with me? You can't stand me.
That's not true. Why don't you let me fix you some of this new Mococo drink from the upper slopes of Mountain Nicaragua? No artificial sweeteners.
What the hell are you talking about? Who are you talking to?
I've tasted other cocos. This is the best.
This is what we're living amongst. We're living amongst human beings that aren't really human who are controlling the behavior of the masses. They're telling you to just ignore all the negativity and be happy. Who are the ones creating it? They are. Let's start with this clip of Oprah of why America is so miserable. And of course, it's because of social media, but it's really because of these people.
Why do you think we're in a happiness slump in America?
Ooh, I will tell you, one of the most profound reasons, I think, is because everybody is looking at other people's social media, what they believe to be other people's lives, which is only a snapshot of other people's lives, and feeling envy about that. And one of the things that Arthur and I talk about in this book is that envy is the great destroyer.
The happiness killer.
It is the happiness killer. And so anytime you're looking at anything else with envy, you have already killed your own happiness or your ability to be happier in that moment and probably in moments to come.
These are the people who embrace social media. They're the ones who have gotten people on board to accept social media. All these TV shows that have constantly pushed tweeting and Facebook, etc. How do you think they indoctrinated the masses to the point where it's weird if you don't have a Facebook account? Right? People, sometimes I've seen people in the past and they've been weirded out that I don't have a Facebook account or weirded out that I don't have an iPhone. Very creepy to them. Really? It's very creepy to me that you were so easily mind controlled that you had to go along with all of these things and now it's just a staple in your life. And eventually that's how they'll get you to take the mark of the beast because it'll be such a staple you won't be able to live without it. Because they've convinced you that you need this technology to live. So she talks about the mental health problems. And really, if you want to see why there's such mental health problems in this world, look at the people causing it. Oprah and her friends who are making children think that they're girls when they're born boys. Look at Oprah, who is telling you that you shouldn't have a right to free speech unless, of course, it's their free speech, which is communist free speech. Look at Oprah telling you that you're a horrible, mean person if you disagree with men dressing as women coming to public schools to teach and talk to your kids. These are the psychopaths responsible for the mental health. So on top of all those things, Oprah's going to talk to you here about some other stuff going on, including the conspiracy in Maui. And watch the basic tactics that they use, where they try to pretend like what they're doing is because they're good people and you're not. What they're doing is going above and beyond for you. But at the same time, when they bring up things that people want to hear their opinions about, like direct energy weapons or the fact that Oprah owns so much land in Maui, they just deflect and call them crazy conspiracy theorists. Does that sound familiar? Like all of us who have been right about everything that's going on in the world right now, which is me and all of you listening to this channel who are still here. We've been screaming about it before any of it happened, talking about pandemics years before they occurred, talking about the movement that is occurring now with children years before they occurred, everything with technology, enslaving us, all this stuff, right? But what do? They don't address it and say, well, let me address the rumors about me owning the land there and me coming around with a camera crew. Oh, she wouldn't even bring attention to that. She just says, well, there's just really mean people. She was so taken aback by the mean people and, of course, just dismisses it by saying conspiracy theory, because now that's all you have to do is you don't have to address the question. You just say conspiracy theory and automatically it goes away, apparently, because you can't ask any more questions. And then the media says, well, Oprah addressed the conspiracy theory. No, Oprah did not address the conspiracy theory. But here are some clips from Oprah. Unbelievable.
We're going to begin this hour with Oprah. There's only one in her new book. She shares her wisdom about the secrets to greater happiness. According to a recent survey, listen to this number, only 25% of Americans say they are very happy. What?
And that's why we call it the art and science of being happier,
Right.
not just being happy.
There's an interesting passage in the book, Oprah, where you talk about a period in your life when you were literally on trial, not criminal trial, it was a lawsuit. You said something about hamburgers, the beef producers were suing you, and it was a 6-week trial. It's exhausting, it's demanding, there are stakes involved, and yet you write, you had reason to be happy. How do you find that reason?
Well, one of the things that, when I'm going through any trial, is being able to do, I was doing this when I didn't even know it was called metacognition. He talks about metacognition in the book. When you can separate the circumstances of what's going on from what is really going on in here. You can feel the feeling and let the space between the feeling and you allow you to be objective about that's happening out there and I am here. Mm-hmm. So that metacognition, which is really thinking about the thinking, is really helpful. And for me, it always goes back to gratitude.
Yes.
Gratitude.
Yes.
Oprah, I want to shift gears a little bit and turn to the Hawaii wildfires and the efforts to help those in need. The People's Fund of Maui was created by you and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, in which you both poured time, effort, and millions to kick it off yourselves, yet and still it faced online criticism. I want to give you the opportunity to kind of give your thoughts on that.
Well, this is a really great point about being happier in the midst of an onslaught of being terrorized and vilified online. Mm-hmm. I will say this, I came out of this experience, I was just saying this to Arthur this morning, with so much more compassion for young kids, because I was thinking, what if I didn't really know who I am? What if I didn't have the assurance of Invictus, that I am the master of my own fate and the captain of my soul? If
it would have taken you down.
It will take you out. Yeah. So all of the online, being
slander and
attacks, lies, conspiracy theories, really took the focus off of what was the most important thing, and that was the people of Maui. So this idea came about because, as you know, when you were there, Tony, I was on the ground talking to lots of people, trying to figure out how do I best help. And in the beginning, it was just, material things, dropping off generators and towels. And then I started talking to people. People really wanted their own agency. Gail's son, Will, sent me an article about Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton, in 2017, during the wildfires in Gatlinburg, started a People's Fund. She called it My People's Fund. She had a concert. She raised $12.5 million and then directly gave it to the people, $1,000 a month. I thought, whoa, that's the idea.
Yeah.
So
getting the money into the hands of the people.
Directly into the hands of the people.
Right
so
now.
To set up the infrastructure for that, The Rock and his team and my team, we were literally on I don't know how many Zooms to set up the infrastructure for the verification process to be able to drop money into people's accounts. And we thought, because both of us have given to charities our whole life. I've been giving to charity since my first paycheck, a tither.
And still do that.
And
yes,
still
yes,
do that.
yes.
Okay. So we thought starting the fund with $10 million would be a great idea, because any of us who've ever been to any benefit, you know, you go to a benefit and somebody gives $10 million, that's called a good night.
Yes. Right.
So we thought $10 million will start off the fund, we'll do what Dolly did, get other people to give money, and then we'll put it directly into the people's bank accounts. I was so excited. I was so excited about it.
It's still a good idea.
And then I got up the next morning.
You still should be.
Yeah.
I was so excited. I got up the next morning and I saw all of this vitriol and I was like, whoa, what happened here? So this is what I want to say. I want to say that, you know, I think in the beginning, so many people were calling, asking, where do we give our money to? So I thought, I'm going to give people a place to
create.
We're going to create something. And I still think it's a really strong idea.
Yeah.
Dolly Parton was right. Putting money directly into the hands of the people is a significant thing. And the model that's been created, I will say that as of today, 2,200 people have been cleared and verified. And those people are going to get a notice from the People Fund of Maui and going to have the money.
And it's working. It made me deeply mad. It made you deeply sad.
Made me sad that
and I'm
we're at
wondering
this
how you're
state in
coping
our
with that.
country,
Yes.
you know?
Right.
Yeah.
No, everything leads to this kind of polarization, even serving other people. But here's the point. Here's Oprah's point. If you take your time, your money, your resources, your life, and you give the love that other people need, especially in their times of need, that is the secret to happiness.
Yeah.
Because happiness is love.
That's right.
Happiness is love. Yeah. Thank you, Arthur.
Full stop.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Happiness is love. Full
Thank you,
stop.
Arthur. Thank you, Oprah.
So Oprah, of course, is letting you know all of the basic things that we always hear, right? And at the same time, while dismissing things as conspiracy theories without answering any questions, Oprah wants you to be happy. She says to be happy. There's a reason that we need to be happy. Ignore the hell on earth that this American government and this American society has turned into. Ignore it. So how mental health problems are because of social media. Mental health problems are because of these people. And they want you to ignore the hell that they're creating. They want you to ignore the direct punishment that they're creating on children. They want you to ignore the freedoms that they're taking away from people like me and you on a daily basis. And they want you to smile about it. They want you to smile as they ram log flumes up your rectum and tell you to be happy or else. Yes, sir, I'll have another, they want you to say, about the destruction they're causing. Hey, we're going to burn people's homes to the ground and their family members, and we're going to take their kids. Smile about it. Be happy. Stop worrying about all that stuff. That's just conspiracy theory fodder. Why can't we identify the teeth of the victims that are there? Why is it enclosed? Why did we just hear the governor tell us that nobody's allowed near Lahaina, even the people who once lived there? And if you do get near there, you have to come with supervision. Nobody's suspicious. And then when Oprah goes on TV, when they could easily ask her questions, we see the former NFL player Puppet sit there and read directly off a sheet of paper what he's supposed to read because he's a puppet for the elites, instead of saying, hey, you know, there's some rumors about the way the fires are, how it's. How about even if you can't ask that? Fine, you can't ask that stuff. That's too extreme. How about all the land that Oprah owns? What, you think it's beautiful there? A lot of people think Maui's beautiful. In fact, everyone on earth, for the most part, would think Maui was beautiful. So why does Oprah own so much land? Why was it that citizens in that land were very upset that Oprah was buying the land? Why is it that people who lived in Lahaina were demanding that Oprah give up the land? Why was it that citizens of Lahaina or of Maui were told that if they didn't sell their land, they would take their land? Because that's pretty much what they were told, as I covered before, which of course is now gone because everything I say gets taken away while these puppets are allowed to speak freely day in and day out. Oprah Winfrey is a toxic cancer to our society, as is all of these devil worshipers. They're the ones responsible for the misery that you're feeling, whether you're Republican, liberal, atheist. They're the ones responsible. It's not a specific political party. It's these specific people. They are a cancer to society. They are a cancer to our lives. They are stripping us of freedoms and telling you to go smile about it and wave to everybody and say, everything's fine, I'll have a cupcake. Serve me one while you blast me in the face with a 2x4. Sure, fill me up with more lemonade. Wow, yeah, taser me at the same time too. That'll be fine. Everything's wonderful, folks. Don't sweat for 2 seconds. Don't worry about it. Anybody who is questioning it is a conspiracy nut. Don't factor in, conspiracies. People are bringing up this thing called conspiracy that we're constantly talking about now because we won't address any of the accusations against us. And we're sitting here telling you that Oh yeah, everybody is miserable, but you shouldn't be miserable. While we have trillions of dollars, all the resources in the land, and on top of having all those things, it's not enough for us that we need to take away your rights. And in fact, we want to take away your children out of your home with the laws that we're trying to pass. To say that these parents aren't fit to be parents because they won't let kids castrate themselves. The upside down, ladies and gentlemen. Oprah Winfrey telling you that your mental health problems, your unhappiness is a result of you. And what else did Oprah say in that video? She talks about separating the circumstances of what's going on to what's really going on emotionally inside of you. And this is how we weaken and dumb down people. So separate what's actually going on to what's going on within you. Don't worry about what you're seeing with your own eyes as the world burns, as we continue to let reprobates have power, as we continue to try to do all these disgusting things to your children, in your schools, in your churches. Think about what's happening in here, in you. And of course, Oprah talks about pretty much being her own God, right? How she's in control of everything when she's not. God's in control of all. But Oprah wants you to know that she's in control because this is the Freemasonic satanic mindset, that they're gods amongst us and that we should be happy. We should be thankful that Oprah and her rich elite satanic friends are letting us live at this point. And any of these people who just so happen to be on a ticking time bomb right now who are about to take the death dose, any one of them that goes, well, it's their own fault for going. It's not their responsibility. It's not their fault. They still inadvertently did it to themselves, even though they censored every single person who warned everybody about it. So yes, Oprah, give us some more. We'd all like another. Please let us know how we need to just ignore what's going on around us, smile and pretend we're in Pleasantville while, crap's hitting the fan, literally. Literally. We're just going to pretend like it's not happening because that's what they want to create, a society of these people that ignore the circumstances, ignore what's actually occurring because it's too much for them to handle and just focus on what makes you individually happy. You know what makes me happy? Having freedom of speech makes me happy. And that's removed. So you expect me, what they want me to do is just smile about it and go about my business and maybe start a YouTube channel that's talking about how great and wonderful and how you can be you. Oh yeah, I know I could be me, who my inner me is. I thought my inner me was you. I thought I was being nothing that makes any sense. They just say over and over, you be you. Well, who else would you be? Oh wait, in reality, these people aren't actually being themselves. They're being carbon copies of their idols that they worship, who have no thought whatsoever, who just continue to robotically float through life on autopilot. So Oprah, you might continue to brainwash the masses. You might think you're brainwashing people into thinking that you and your friends weren't involved in what was more than a land grab in Maui. But for those of us with eyes to see and ears to hear, we know exactly what's going on. And we know that while you might think you're a god, as your teachings tell you, that you're a god among us, that's what you believe, that you're not in control. God's in control. And in the blink of an eye, God can give power to any one of his disciples down here to take it away from you if he chooses, but he doesn't need to do that because he'll do it himself. And the time for that to come is very, very near. I thank everyone for being here. Hope you're doing well. Hope you enjoyed the rant. I'm fired up. God bless all of you as always and your families.